And boom, 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 boom. Awesome. We're live.
Awesome.
So yeah, good evening, everyone. Everyone listening to
Hey,
us. It's exciting to be here once more. And today I am honored to be speaking with Ejob. The last time we tried it didn't go so well, but yeah, guys, we are back. So yeah, today we'll be having a fireside chat with Egypt. We'll be looking at a couple of things, and please feel free to join the discussion, share your thoughts. I believe there's so much to learn, and let's get straight into it because we're a little bit late. Yes, sir. Finally, we're doing this once more. Can we meet you, sir?
yeah. Yeah, I am, bro. Yeah, I am. Um, hey, did I say something?
Yes, let's meet you. This is the man behind Zebra Comics. So please introduce yourself.
Okay. Okay, I am Ejob Nathaniel.
Yeah.
I am a comic book artist. I am an entrepreneur. I am the founder of Zebra Comics. We are a comic book company. We're created in 2016, registered in Cameroon, and we're working on several comic book titles. We also envisage getting into animation and video games, but
Nice.
we are starting right now with comics. So I'm just a guy who likes to draw, just a guy who likes to make stuff up. Get up in the morning and then make stuff up, and then come and do it for a living. So that's where I am. That's
Awesome.
where I am, man.
Awesome. That sounds really exciting. And yeah,
It
so in
is.
case you don't know, Ejob is like, how do we put it? So in the gaming and creative industry, there are people we call forefathers. I think the creative industry, when you look at the creative industry in Africa, you can really track back as to what we have today. 10 years, a decade ago, that was when lots of people started getting interested in games, in animation, in comics. And Ejab is someone that I can say was among the beginning of the industry. And the greatest part of it is he's still in the industry and is thriving very well.
Going nowhere. Going nowhere. We die here. We die here.
And I think that that's something very, very amazing. So can you take us back? I think I met you, was it 2018, 2016 at Lagos Comic Con?
Yeah, I think
Which
it's 2018. It's 2018.
2018. No, I think
Yeah.
2016. Yeah. Because 18 I wasn't really around in Lagos. I had moved.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it's 2016.
Yeah, 2018, I was in Accra instead.
Aha.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
remember meeting you. That was the first time I got introduced to Zebra Comics, and that was when I got your card as well. And I could see your comics, your prints, which were on sale then. And I can imagine how it was because there are lots of people there trying to sell their art, trying to reach out to customers, get people excited. And I could see, how do I put it? I could see the excitement, I could see the challenge, I could see the struggles, and I could see the joy as well when people picked up your book.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell me
Yeah.
about
It's
what
amazing.
what's over 6 years in the industry like? What has it been?
It's a journey, man. It is a journey. It's been such an ordeal, and it still is. But
Wow.
there is a bright light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the industry has been growing. Actually, it has really been
Yeah.
growing, and Africa is showing serious promise as far as comics, as far as animation, as far as video games is concerned. There is
Yeah.
serious promise in the industry. You're seeing creators coming up with new stuff every day, and new studios popping up here and there. I mean, it's amazing. I was so amazed when I went to Lagos. First of
Yeah.
all, I have to say this: if anybody's listening from Lagos, you guys drive like crazy.
Wow.
That town is crazy, man. Everything's fast in Lagos. It's fast. So, that aside, Lagos is really good, but I was surprised to see a lot of gigs coming together under one roof.
Yeah.
what's the Lagos Comic Con. We need more conventions like this, really, to boost our industry. It's really great
Yeah.
that people like Ayodele could really take this step to start something like this, to make sure that the geek space has its voice in society. So I
True.
was really impressed, and I think we're really growing, because if you look at 26 to 20 from 2016 to now, there's only been an increase in the activity as far as geek stuff is concerned.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really exciting. For those who don't know, Lagos Comic Con is coming back this year, September 18, if I'm not wrong, and it's happening in
Yeah.
Lagos next to the house. I'm going to be there. I'm currently working on the promotion and marketing for the event. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting.
What just happened? What just happened? Who was cut? So the guest is left and the host is gone. Okay, I'm just going to take over the show then. Oscar, you can come and see what's happening after this. um, anyway, I just hope Oscar comes back. Guys, this is what happens on our continent. It is crazy. It is crazy. Maybe I should start a coup d'etat or something. Take lead. Start my own government. Build the Wakanda. uh, this is awkward, man. It's really awkward.
Yeah, I can imagine. Very sorry about that. My internet went kaboom. I guess it's my turn this week.
This time it's your turn.
I was speaking and then I just started scrolling. But then it's cool. It's
Yeah,
cool. So yeah, as
let's
I
go.
was
Let's go,
saying,
man.
Lagos Comic Con happens this year, September 18, at NECA House in Ikeja. And I would be there physically. I can't wait to be in the midst of geeks, comic creators, animators, and the likes. And interestingly, it also falls around the same period the Gamerton will be happening as well. So yeah, lots of
Mhm.
geek stuff coming in. We're even connecting across the ecosystem. I recently got in touch with Feja. They have like a festival, and I'm sure that'll be something you really love. It's coming up in November with other festivals coming up. So yeah, these kind of conventions really help boost the economy, the ecosystem for creatives. And looking back right now, I would love to ask, I'd love to get your perspective, because if you go on Instagram right now, there are lots of comic creators coming up. And one
Yeah.
thing we would love to know is, yeah, lots of people are creating stuff. There are new ways of monetizing. Lots of people are not even going deep into making their work so good, but using the little skill set they have to come up with content that can sell on YouTube, make people laugh. But we know things were not like this before because a lot of changes happened. So looking back right
Mhm.
now, what are the things you would say have really changed in the industry?
Um, there are more creators coming up with their work, and
Nice.
as far as monetizing content is concerned, I think there are a lot of people who are much more aware that they can monetize what they're creating, rather than just posting it for a couple of likes and all that. We have a
Yeah,
saying here in Zebra Comics that likes don't feed you.
sure.
Likes, like, yeah, we have a saying in Zebra, likes don't feed you. So we we look for opportunities for ways to monetize our content. So maybe license our characters for advertisement agencies. So maybe work with financial institutions on the and license our characters for the ads and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Get a way to make money from this so that the creators can live off it.
Yeah.
So there's several ways in which they can do this. They can monetize the content. I don't think. I think that many more creators are becoming aware of this. We also use platforms like crowdfunding platforms to
Yeah.
promote some of our content. So that's really been helpful. And
Yeah.
I think that many Africans can also learn from this in the trying to generate some income for their content.
Okay. Okay. That sounds really, really true and good. And speaking of monetization, you've done something really, really awesome, I must say. I can't remember when last an African creator based in Africa, which is very important. There are lots of African creators right now that are not based in Africa, or they started in Africa and they move out of Africa. And what this means basically is you're selling African stories, but they are not employing African creatives like you are doing.
Yeah.
And I don't know when last I saw one of such creatives putting something out there that becomes Kickstarter project we love. Please. I don't know.
Mhm.
I was really excited when I saw that. I was really impressed. Can you tell us more about that? I'm sure you didn't just start using Kickstarter. So can you just like tell us more and give us feedback? What
Uh,
does it feel like?
it's awesome, actually. It feels awesome to get up one morning and get that email from Kickstarter that, oh, we have selected your project as a project we love. It's
Mhm.
remarkable. Share with your friends and all that. Just that email, just that sentence, just that
I
phrase,
can
is
imagine.
enough
Yeah.
to make you go crazy for the whole day. So, well, Kickstarter came to us. It was a mad for me. First of all, I wanted to because I'm always looking for ways to monetize what we're creating. Always looking for ways to sell our content. Because for
Yeah.
me, it's a way of living. It's a lifestyle. It's not just creating. I'm not a social media artist. I don't. Yeah, we post stuff on social media, but I'm not really into it. Social media doesn't feed you at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
I look for opportunities, ways in which we can monetize our content, be it selling our characters, licensing them out, doing ads and all that. And Kickstarter was another way for us to generate income and also get hard copies out there because most of our comics before then were digital. Yes, we
Yeah.
have printed some comics before. I printed comics. I went to conventions and all that. For the most part, most of our sales were digital. We even had an app at some point.
Yeah.
Um, we the app still exists, but we are reworking it. We're working again on it.
Yeah.
So Kickstarter was just another way for us to generate income. And our first campaign was, I think it's like 2 years ago. We did our first
Mm.
campaign, and yeah, it was like a test. It was like a test run. I really wanted to see if this thing could work. If the world is really ready for African content. So I think I put my goal was like $1,000, something like that. Just
Mhm.
just $1,000. I just wanted to taste the waters and see. And for the first 2 weeks, it was really not doing good. And the last 2 weeks is really picked up. Really picked up. We were funded, I think it's 108% of our initial goal. And that really encouraged me. It made me to understand that the world is ready for African content. And it made me to understand that what we are doing is quite good. And I did my second Kickstarter. And for my second Kickstarter, I was able to print and ship comics. And recently we did our third, which was also
Yeah.
successful. And actually, this is my most successful Kickstarter yet. We're 200% funded of our initial goal. That's double our goal. And
Yeah.
I yeah, I know, right? I know it's crazy. So right now, the issue two is volume two is already on at the printers. So by next week they'll be printing in and be shipping to our backers. It's actually very fast now. I'm doing it. I don't want the time frame to be very long between
Yeah.
funding and delivery. So this time
Yeah.
I'm thinking 2 weeks. Everybody should get their books. So
Awesome.
Kickstarter has been great, man. Kickstarter has been great, and I encourage a lot of African creators to try monetizing their content. Try other venues. You see.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually awesome. I like the fact that right now, especially now that you're, let me use the word a global, because right now you've made a statement out there, which basically means that, yep, African creatives can go out there and do amazing stuff. I love the fact that you're trying
Sure.
to reduce the turnaround time. That's really interesting. And the diversification as well. Yes, some people live off
Yeah.
social media, but I love the fact that within Cameroon, you've been able to get access to
Yeah.
industry stakeholders that are willing to adopt it. That's really key.
Yeah.
That's very, very helpful. So let's talk more
It's the
about
internet,
your,
man.
yeah,
It's the
yeah,
internet.
really.
It's a remarkable tool. You can do anything with it.
That's true. Let's talk about your titles a little. Anarchy. That's the one that is making wave right now. But then you have so
Mm.
much more. And over the years, you've done some really interesting stuff. I know of Tumbu. I know of Anarchy. There's this one about the gods. I so much love that character. I can't remember the name. But what drives
Uh,
the stories? What drives the stories, and what are you trying to express? Yeah, a lot of people are going out there now and saying they're telling African stories and all. And sometimes when we look at the correctness of this story, the reality is in some cases they're not always right these days, because even Africa's history is not properly documented and there isn't as much funds that are needed or available to do proper research. But what inspires your story? What drives your storytelling, basically?
this question, whenever I'm being asked what inspires me, it sounds like an easy question, but technically it isn't. You know, I can walk by the roadside and a stone inspires me to do something, like a
True.
stone. Or I can look at a cloud and it's shaped in a funny way and it gives me an idea of a character. You see,
Mm-hmm.
so there are a lot of things that can inspire or provoke your imagination. But as far as Africa is concerned, first of all, I have always wanted to tell African stories. Pure, I like to see from a purely Pan African point of view, in the sense
Yeah.
that I want to not just tell stories that are African or that look African, but stories that inspire young people in particular to effect positive change in themselves. Understand?
Yeah.
Stories that inspire personal growth. Understand? Yes, they are a tool of entertainment, but they should be something that adds more value to your life. So we put a lot of work into our stories. That's why from the onset when we started Zebra Comics, it was clear there will be those who will do research, write stories, and there will be those who will focus on the illustrations. You can't do everything. There'll be people for this and people for that, so that the writers focus on doing the research, making sure that all the ingredients are there, making sure that they create stories that are larger than life and yet they are relatable to our continent, to our context, even though you are using the genre of fantasy, even though you're using the
Yeah.
genre of science fiction or Afrofuturism, it should still come close to home, no
Yeah.
matter the genre. So we dedicate a lot of our time to research, going on the ground, trying to make sure that our comics really reflects where we come from, and at the same time inspire us to be better than we are. We are in the business of creating value. You understand? So
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
That's really exciting. And also, your comics, your titles, they are in more than three languages.
Yeah,
How do you
yeah.
that
Five,
must really
five,
be
five.
interesting. Five languages. So we have French, we
Yeah.
have English, we
English, we
have
have German, we have
German.
French, we have English, we have German, excuse me, we have
Yeah.
Spanish, we have
Wow.
Mandarin.
So you have this markets covered, right?
Yeah.
You have readers from these various markets. That's really exciting,
Yeah.
and wow, that's promising, because what we can see right now is you guys are really here for business because it's a complete
Yeah.
setup, and that's
Yeah.
really cool. But let's look home a little. How are Africans reacting? I know that with the Gen Z, there's a lot of change. These guys, yeah, lots of adults, millennials are not saying they are stubborn, they are troublesome, but these guys are really moving Africa forward
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
the way they think, their perspective. And I would love to get yours towards the comics industry. What is it like? How are they responding? Are we getting more people willing to spend on acquiring African comics? And what's their preference? Is it digital? Because there's also this conception right now that could be a misconception, which is everybody should go digital. So digital comics over print. What is it like? What's the feedback like?
Um, people, Africans are interested in comics, uh,
Hmm.
particularly our generation, obviously.
Yeah,
Um, yes, there's a cry for digital content, for comics to go digital, but the truth on the ground is people still prefer paper. People still
nice.
prefer paper. So people will pick paper anytime, any day over digital. I
Yeah,
myself, and I'm an example. I am a fan of hard copies. I really don't like reading on my phone and all that. I really don't read that much on my phone. I always
yeah,
prefer my things to be on my hand. I think the only the only way I can read a comic on any digital device is probably a tablet. Tablet because of
yeah. The
the
size,
space, the
screen
size, and
size.
all that.
Yeah,
So a tablet is more tolerable than a phone, and I think, but you can't expect the entire market to get tablets.
yeah,
You understand? I think people are more receptive from. I won't quote any statistics because I don't have stats. It's just from observation and from
yeah,
talking to people in general that they prefer hard copies. And if I were to use myself to for the entire demographic, which is not a very good thing to do,
yeah.
I will say everyone prefers hard copies. I will say that, not really though. But I think a greater percentage of people prefer hard copies. When you go to comic conventions, for example,
Yeah.
nobody's really asking, where can I download this? No, they're going there
True.
to buy the hard copies. I
Yeah.
go there to buy hard copies. So that the problem now is, where do we get these hard copies? You see, that's the
Hmm.
problem we have in Africa.
Okay.
Our shops, our supermarkets, and all that, our malls don't really have enough African content out there. So the challenge I can give ourselves as creators is to look for ways to get our content into shops, into to malls, and all that.
Yeah.
One of the things we did at Zebra in the past was, I say in the past because we're strategizing a lot of things, is
Yeah.
get our content into some shops in Cameroon, into some renowned shops, because they are a chain of them. They are a chain of them. So you know that if you put it here, it will eventually be available in other franchises.
Yeah.
So we did like that. Right now, we are no longer publishing comics, hard copies, single issues. What we are doing is we are putting our content together to publish as graphic novels, so that we can
Yeah.
give them as full trade paperbacks. So
Okay.
that's the method we're going to. But we eventually put them in shops and all that. So it's a step. It's a gentle process. For now,
Wow.
we are more focused on creating more content.
Yeah.
We have an objective to create content for all of our stories, to create enough content that can be graphic novel size, and then we can release them. So
Oh,
that's how we think it's one of the best ways to go, so that it guarantees consistency, and people can really appreciate your stories when they are complete.
yes. Very
But
true.
we have to understand our market. We have to
Oh,
understand how what is really needed. We have to understand even the global market. We can't really take single issues to the United States, to Europe, to Japan, to China. We can't really take single issues. It's going to be a logistics nightmare. So the best way is to go with graphic novels or trade paperbacks.
That's cool. That's really, really cool. I like the fact that, like I said, everything you say just makes us realize more that you guys are really here for business. Everything is structured, and you've been in the industry, of course, so we expect nothing less. And I don't know if you could share some places where people could get access to this comics, say within Cameroon and outside Cameroon. Say, for example, if someone is watching from, where are your distributors basically? Where can we get? Can you share some access points?
Okay. For now,
Yeah.
actually, Zebra Comics right now is going through a restructuring phase.
Okay.
If you look at our Facebook page, you will find one of our flyers that says our app is under reconstruction.
Yes.
So is our
Yeah.
website. So for
Yeah.
now, the best way, the only comic we are giving out there right now is Anarchy.
Okay.
That is the only comic. We have many more titles, obviously, like
Yes.
but the only comic we're serving the public right now is Anarchy. There's a reason why we're doing this. We want to ensure that we have enough content to serve the people for a certain time before we make any
Yeah.
releases. We are
Yeah.
not in a hurry to give out comics in bits, and no. We want them full complete, and then we'll give it to you. Anarchy is actually complete. That's why we are serving the public, and it's a way for us to keep our voice out there while
Yeah.
we work on our content. So, if you want to get Anarchy, the best way is to email us,
Okay.
zebracomics@gmail.com, and we'll walk you through a process. Usually, what we do is we send you a PayPal address. You pay us on PayPal or any other method you are comfortable with,
Great.
and
Yeah.
we ship your comics to you. Your comics to you, no matter where you are in the world. You just send us your address. We ship it to you. But in the meantime, we are focused on restructuring our distribution systems, our apps, our websites, our even on the ground, even our content. We're building content that will serve people for a particular period of time before we release it, at least a year, and then we shall share this content with the world. For now, Anarchy is the only thing we're sharing.
Awesome. Awesome, Ben. I think what I'll do is I'll go through that process myself because I need to have a copy of Anarchy before we meet personally. So yeah, let's see right now. It's really, I don't want this to get so serious, and I think I'm getting serious. But then I can, how do I put this? More than like over 6 years in the industry. And it's really tough. For myself, basically, I know what it is trying to go into game development in Africa, where firstly, culturally, it's not, at least the older generation did not see it as something very serious. And then when it comes to getting revenue, I know it wasn't so easy. So a lot of people backed down. And you guys who are still there pushing this are like the ones showing us, making more people believe, showing that there is hope in this industry. And this is something amazing. But along the lines, I'm sure you've gone through some really difficult times.
Yeah, sure,
Many times
definitely.
you would not even want to mention, I'm very sure. But what would like to
Yeah.
focus now is because we want to spread hope, we want to look at it from a very positive side. Um, what can you share with us that break for you? What was that wow aha moment for you throughout the years in the industry? I don't know if you can like give us some insight into that.
There have been very many moments. Obviously, there have been ups, downs, and many
Yeah,
aha moments. But I think I'll go back to Kickstarter. Kickstarter was the one thing that really shocked me because the demographic that really backs Kickstarter is the United States and
yeah,
UK and Canada. So what to read that I can say an aha moment for me was realizing that okay, these guys are ready to consume this.
yeah,
Why was I thinking I just needed to be stopped? I can share this with the rest of the world. So it
yeah,
was really a realization that people want good stories. It doesn't matter where you are from wherever
Yeah.
you are. It doesn't matter if you're in Cameroon or Nigeria or Ghana. It doesn't matter if your story is good, man. We will consume it. There's certain realities that cuts across race, they cuts across cultures. Certain realities that we as humans we share together.
It's
We
true.
share theme of love, politics,
Yeah. Just like
all these
football.
things. Yeah, yeah. So the things that we share as a human race. So a story that we can all find bits and pieces of ourselves in that speaks to us. It's a story that is for the world actually. So that was really something. It was an awakening. It made me realize that what we're doing here, the world is ready, man. The world is ready.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And so, guys, you've heard it. I don't know. We have some people watching in, listening in. If you have questions, you can drop it for Egypt. But then you've heard it. The world is out there. We keep on saying it. Almost, it's like almost people are coming out and coming to realize that yeah, the world wants to hear what you have to give. The main thing is give out something that is of quality. Give out something genuine, something good, and then there's a market out there, and that's really, really, really exciting and glad. And I'm glad that you made mention of it. It's really good to hear. So we'll be
Yeah.
rounding up right now because we normally love to keep this around 30 minutes so we don't take out of the time as well. And one thing I'll just like to poke into once more is the comics industry. Now we know, yes, Cameroon is thriving. We know there are lots of creative studios also in Cameroon. There is in Nigeria as well, and there is in Kenya, Cote d'Ivoire, Mali, and across Africa. So what's it like? Is there some form of collaboration? I see some while back you had something to do with Epoch Studios in Nigeria. So what's it
Uh,
like? What's the relationship like cross country, cross continent, across? What's the industry looking like?
let me take this off. I
Yeah,
think your battery is dead. Um, yeah. One good thing with the comic book industry is I think a certain number of studios or creatives have realized that for this thing to grow, we need to team up. We need to come together.
yeah,
It I've, Zebra Comics personally, I've always known that to achieve or to go several heights, you need to work with a team. You cannot do it on your own. There's so much you can do as an individual. There's only so much you can do as an individual.
true.
So I reached out to Hippo Comics, I reached out to Spoof Comics, and several other studios, and together we decided to come to sell on the Zebra Comics platform. So on our former app, we had Hippo Comics, we had Tar Studios, we also had Spoof Comics, and it's just a way for us to come together and try to exploit various platforms for us to sell our content, and it shows that there is a certain unity in the industry. Yes, we are producing content, we are kind of competitors, but really not really, because I always say anybody who is if we have a comic from, let's say, Hippo Comics, right, or let's
Yeah,
say on the Zebra Comics app, for example, the fans of Hippo Comics will eventually be the fans of Zebra Comics. The fans of Zebra Comics will eventually be the fans of Hippo
yeah,
Comics. So we are all swimming in the same pool, if I can say
yeah,
that. Because, take for example, if someone reads something from Hippo Comics and let's say they're done reading, they're finished the story and all that. Okay, they might say, okay, let me try something from Zebra too. If we're
true.
all in the same pool, let me try something from Zebra. So in a way, we are collaborating. We are not really in a competition.
Yeah,
We are together. We are together in this. We're together in
yeah,
this, and it's something I always try to make everyone to see that it doesn't have to be a lion's den or something. It's something we can grow together. I believe that there is room for everyone to shine under the sun.
yeah,
That is my philosophy. I don't think that one person, it should be I don't think one studio can make this work. I've never thought that. I think the geek industry in Africa needs to work together. Studios need to hold the hands of other studios, work together, and it will grow. That is the only way we're going to do this. No one studio can do this. I'll tell you, no one studio. It's not Zebra, it's not Epoch Comics, it's not Spoof Comics, it's not Comic Republic, it's not Peter Comics. No one studio can do this. We have to collaborate. And I understood this very long. That's why I always work with the team.
Yeah.
I always work with the team. Don't do it alone. Don't do it alone. That's not a good recipe.
Yeah, that's really another thing, and I look forward to seeing cross collaboration. That's not just let's say not just in the comics industry, but say let the comics industry do
Yeah.
something with the animation industry,
The
with the games
animation
industry,
industry.
the movie industry. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think there's a timeline set unless I think the only determinant here is are we ready and do we have the infrastructure basically. But I feel
Mhm.
like we're having so many good stories on both sides, which can also be shared across. We can look forward to a game about anarchy. I think that's something really exciting, and I look forward to seeing us do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has really been nice catching up with you.
Yeah, man.
Once more, I look forward to seeing you at Lagos Comic Con. I'm
Sure,
definitely going to be there, and
sure.
we're going to get you on board once more for the Gameathon as well this year. So there's going to be a comics panel. We'd love to see you there. And if you have
Awesome.
anything you want to share through us, we are also growing like a community across Africa. We want to see how we can connect the various communities together so that Africa can be heard. As you have said, one person can't do it. So it's all about creating bridges, building bridges cross country so that together we can create a network of resources that can help
That's,
us grow. So what
yeah,
do you
that's
look
very
out
well.
to? What do you look out for in the future? Let's use that to end it.
Um, Animation video games. That's Zebra Comics. We are using comics as a foundation.
Yeah.
Next, we're getting to animation and eventually video games. We
Awesome.
we have a, we have a plan. We are following in our plan. It's a gentle process. You won't find it. It's not happening next year. It's not happening in 2 years. But there is a plan. There is a structure we are following. So we are trying to also be realistic with our manpower and our resources. So
Yeah.
we have goals, certain goals to push us into animation, certain goals to push us into
Game.
video gaming. So
Awesome.
that's it, man. That's Zebra Comics for you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks so
Yes,
much
man.
for this. So, guys, you've heard it. Looking into the future, animation, video games. Right now, if you want comics, really interesting comics, Anarchy is currently on sale, so you can get that. You can check out Zebra Comics on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Follow them and reach out to them if you want your copy. I would be
Yeah.
getting a copy very, very soon. And who knows, I might do a review on it.
Yeah, there's a
Just
couple in Lagos.
yeah, yeah, very soon. So yep, and yeah, I think it was really, really nice meeting you. We are going to see what we can do together. I love the how do I put it? I love the fact that you've been here. I love the vision. I love the steady growth, and of course, your leadership is what is making this possible. So that's really something commendable as well. Also, congrats on joining the Mandela Fellowship.
Yeah. You saw
Yeah,
that. Thank you,
congratulations
thank
on
you.
that. Yeah. So let's look forward to September. Let's look forward to the future. Let's look forward to what more Zebra Comics will bring out there. Any last word for the audience, for upcoming comic artists, enthusiasts, comic lovers? What do you have to say?
I'm also an upcoming artist.
Not in
You
this
have to,
context.
look at me, this man. Um, well, all I can say is if you really have to do this, then you just do it, man. But you have to also accept the realities. It's going to take enormous sacrifice from you. And you also have to work smart. It's not necessarily to work. You're going to work hard, but you have to work smart too, because there is no point in doing this without thinking of the future, man. You have to think ahead. You have to think what you want to do with this. Are you just doing this? If you're doing it for fun, for your hobby, hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
If you're thinking of making a life out of this, then you have to really strategize. You have to do research and see how others are doing this thing and see how you can make it work. You don't start something you can't finish, man. Don't do
True.
that. Yeah. So that's
Wow.
all I can say. Because when I got into this, it was this or this. I don't have any plan B. It's just plan A.
Wow.
No plan B.
All in.
So yeah. So that
Wow.
always say we die here, we die here.
Awesome, awesome. So thanks
Yeah,
so much for
awesome.
that, Egypt. It was a pleasure hosting you. And yeah, that brings it to the end of the session, guys. Pleasure meeting him. I hope you've learned something. I hope you know more about Zebra Comics. You can reach out to them via social media, via email. Please reach out to them. See what is coming out. The beautiful things coming out of Africa. I mean, come on. This is an homemade product. This is a creative studio within Africa, taking our culture out there and selling it very well. So please reach out to them and do stay blessed. Before I leave, um, next week we'll be having the E-Africa Challenge, and it's one of Africa Communicates programs. So basically, Africa Communicate is looking at how we can drive in more investment into Africa and also bring about more diversification. So the E-Africa Challenge is all about creative solving the SDGs. There's a lot of opportunities out there that you could look into, and we're having our first program around that. And please look into that as well. See if you would love to be a part of it. It's going to be exciting. We'll be looking at sustainability, hacking climate change, looking at green coding, which is something that is just new out there in the world. So it's an opportunity for you to get on board it as early as possible. And yep, with that, I would say have a lovely evening. Bye, everyone.
Have a lovely evening, man. Awesome.